Alright, welcome back to the channel. We've got a NASCAR iRacing series race for you. This is the first one that I've done. In fact, I think this is the first Cup Series race that I've raced on ovals. I got my A license quite a while back, and I just never really raced them. There wasn't a whole lot that I was really too interested in racing in them, and I was kind of caught up with working in the C Series, or the C Class Fixed, and the Opens, and the B Class. I was having a lot of fun there, and of course, racing in League didn't really give me a whole lot of time to really come up to the Cup and do a lot of the racing there. And I really been enjoying racing the 1987 cars too. Just a lot of fun. So we'll get started. A buddy of mine in Discord in League, he invited me to race this with everybody, and unfortunately he was in one split higher than I was. His high rating skyrocketed last week when they were at Homestead. He just destroyed Homestead. He did really good. So I didn't get to race with him, but I did get to race with somebody else in our league, Tyler Brewer. Give a shout out to him. He started right behind me. I think he didn't qualify. And I tried to qualify, but my computer crashed. Here I am, right before qualifying, and I wasn't able to get everything up and running before. I think I got in with like 30 or 40 seconds to go, and I tried to run a lap, and I just didn't make it. So I ended up having to start in the back. I am running this particular one because of my I rating. I was number 33. The way that they go is they put your number in accordance with your rating in this particular split for the cars. So the farther back you are, the lower I rating you have. So the further you finish up front, the better your I rating gain is going to be. And vice versa. If you're up towards maybe you have a low number, like you're number 4 or number 5, and you finish in the back, your I rating is going to take a huge hit. So let me stop rambling on here. We're going to get going. It's 134 laps. The way that I was practicing, I thought that I could qualify probably in the top 10, and I would have, most likely. Anyways, I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this because a lot of this is kind of boring, and I don't think everybody wants to sit here and watch just people going around lap after lap. So get fast forwarding where we're on pace.
134 laps. Follow the pace car in the inside lane.
You know what? I'm going to turn this guy off here. Okay. Sorry, I had my crew chief on. So I just painted this car last night in Photoshop. I kind of wanted to go with a little bit of an obscure The Office reference from Shroot Farms. Kind of had a good time with it. I gave kind of a burgundy color trim because of the beets that he raises on his farms, and the carbon fiber look on the outsides and white down the middle. That's pretty neat. I had a good time with it. In the very back, I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not, but I've got his face, and I also got the boss Mike. Here we go, green. So my buddy's starting in the back, and the other guys kind of got around me. What I noticed those first few laps is everybody was really taking it easy, and I was just kind of I was racing kind of aggressive, but I didn't feel like I was overdriving it. I did kind of take it easy, but everybody else was just going a lot slower. So I took advantage of it. Let me switch views here. The car does look pretty good. I did the same sort of paint job in the Xfinity car too. So on fresh tires, you really got to watch coming off the corners. It really wants to get loose, and it kind of mellows out, I'd say maybe after 4 or 5 laps. And then after that it starts getting really loose again. And somebody in the Discord server that I was with our league found that if you ran up kind of towards the top at the end of a tire run, midway through or end of a tire run, you had a lot more grip up there and kind of maintained speed a little better. That's what I ended up doing kind of later on in the runs. And you can see, I mean, I've already passed a bunch of guys. I wasn't like I was pushing that hard. Just everybody else was going slower. And hey, if you're going to go slower, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm not going to do anything stupid, you know. But I think we just had a yellow. Yeah, we just had a wreck. So, now this is strange. We only raced like 4 laps, I believe, and I gained quite a few spots. And a whole bunch of people went into the pits after only 5 laps. Now, I know this track can chew up your tires, but I haven't really lost any speed after 4 or 5 laps, and I figured there was probably going to be some more cautions. So I just decided to stay out. I didn't really see a need to go into the pit. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward through a lot of this. I apologize, I've got my 3D printer going in the background. You can probably hear that, and the dogs upstairs probably barking every once in a while. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, we had a bunch of people going to the pits, and I just kind of went right up to the front. And we'll fast forward this. There were a couple of guys in here that were really fast. This number 7 Home Depot car, which you can't see on the screen right now, he was really quick. And I had a hard time getting around him, but we'll kind of see that later. And some pretty cool paint jobs. Joe Exotic. That's number 4 there. That's funny. I like it. I may have to steal that one. That one's pretty good. There is a way that you can grab other people's textures. I wouldn't grab them and then, you know, sell them to anybody. See right there, you can see I got loose. I wouldn't grab them and, you know, sell them to anybody. I think I got, but if I wanted to make something custom out of it, see, everybody else was just going really slow. And I'm on like 4 or 5 lap old tires, and some of these people have fresh. Number 7 right there, he was tough. He was pretty tough. There's a couple of guys in here that were really tough. Towards the end of the race, you'll see I ended up battling him for 2nd place. If you guys don't like my commentary, just let me know, and I will. I'll start kind of quieting up a little bit during these replays. Let's go to the cockpit view. Some of the racing was really close quarters. Ooh, see, he got really loose. When that happens, I dove down. I knew he was going to try to go back up onto the track. We went pretty wide. Let's see that again. Because this was kind of a fun pass. I took two spots. See if this is a good angle. So he got loose, and I dove down below. There we go. I was able to get around him. Sorry I haven't really been posting much lately. Because I'm running triple screens, I've had a hard time doing video editing and getting it to work right. My son finally turned me on to a different program where I can just isolate one particular screen. That way whenever you're watching it on YouTube, it only shows up, you know, the correct size. It doesn't show up as a big long elongated thing. And then I don't have to go into iRacing and change a bunch of settings. So Let's see if I can see where I'm at here. Position 6, so I'm already up to 6th. And this is lap 12. If I'm not mistaken, there's another caution that's going to be coming. So we're going to fast forward. It's lap 15. Yeah, 17. This is where I'm thinking next caution I'm getting tires, because I am starting to drop off and I'm running more of a middle line and getting kind of loose. Well, they say loose is fast, right? Hey bud, I'm recording right now. You gonna say hi? Really? You gotta actually say hi.
Hola, ¿cómo está? No, I'm joking. Hola. Hello.
What's your YouTube channel?
It should be Little Lava.
Little Lava? Little Lava YT?
No, it's just Little Lava.
Oh, Little Lava.
It should be one of the first channels out there.
Just Little Lava when you search for it.
You can also put it in the description.
Okay. That's one of my boys. Alright, so we are under caution. 24 laps. And definitely going to be getting tires this time and fuel. Again, 134 laps. And I actually didn't know where my pit stall was. I knew it was towards the back, but when I did the paint job, my pit board was kind of white. And I could see I went into Photoshop and I fixed it. I put some lines on my pit board right here so I could see it real easy. But wasn't thinking about it. I thought white would stand out. But once it's up against, when you're driving in to the pits, let me see if I can show you. Let's back up. Go to cockpit view. Oh, I can't see it. It kind of blends in with the sky and kind of gets washed out. So right here, it was white like this one, and I could barely see it. So I ended up putting these stripes on here in Photoshop. I'm glad it's showing up now. Get tires, fuel. I am so thankful they made it to where you can slide right through somebody. Otherwise, there'd be so many accidents in the pits. Okay, let's see where I come out at. I think I did pretty good on this caution, or this pit. This pitting under caution. I'm trying to remember where I came out. I think I came out in the top 5 or 6. Okay, yeah, 7 beat me out just barely. Can't talk to him enough about him. He was a pretty good driver. I'll show you why when we get towards the end of the race. He was racing me aggressive but clean. I really enjoyed it. He was smart too. So something funny about this, with the way the aero package is designed for these cars in iRacing, and it was really evident at this track, if you got right up on somebody behind them going into the corners, they would get really aero loose. Then you could pass them. The downside was they could suck up right to you and do exactly the same thing. And that did happen to me a couple of times. Here we go, another restart. Let's fast forward to the line. My video editing skills aren't the greatest. There's pretty good looking cars in here. The guy who's leading right now is really tough as well. I like this number 20 too. His paint job's pretty cool. That 0. The back of his car looks really neat. Gatorade Zero, that's cool. Woo! I didn't realize that guy almost hit me. He got loose coming off the corner. Wow, that was close. Alright, so we're on lap 29. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward, because this is going to be a lot of repetitive, just going around. It's not going to be a lot of fun for everybody to watch. I am in pretty tight quarters here. Let's just rewind it a little bit. And we're going to go cockpit view. I want you to see what this is like. You can't really see it because I don't have all three monitors up, but man, I got a guy right over here. And there's one or two guys right behind me. I mean, it is just tight quarters. Especially when you're coming out of the turns and you know you're going to be kind of loose. And this guy's slowing up in front of me and I got kind of stuck right behind him a couple times during the race. I had a pretty good run coming off that corner. I feel like I could have passed him. This guy next to me kind of takes it as well since I had to slow down. And I think we're under caution again, yep. So I lost a couple spots in that one, but not that big a deal. So, go back to this and we're going to fast forward. Again, only had a few laps on these tires, so I mean, a lot of people pit, and I didn't really see the need to. So we are on lap 35. And I am currently in 8th. There we go, green. And seems like most of the restarts, the person that was underneath me kind of backs off, which gave me the ability to kind of defend my line low. Number 1 cars that have the highest I rating in this particular split of cars. One thing about some of these paint jobs, like the number 5 right here, that's a cool paint job, but it kind of is almost too busy looking. You know, if you were able to focus in on it, it'd probably be a really cool paint job, but sometimes you just need something that's a little bit more basic, kind of like the number, was that 20 that's right behind me? That one looks pretty cool. It's a little bit more basic, not quite as busy. You got loose coming off too. That was the problem coming out of turn 2 and turn 4, was you really had to watch your throttle control. Especially as you went later on in the run. So you could kind of play off of it by running high and then kind of driving off of your right rear tire and getting on the gas a little bit and then kind of turning the car down a little. You have to be real careful doing that though. Alright, so we're in 8th right now. We're going to fast forward. So we are on lap 40. Kind of backed off a little bit because the guys in front were really bunched up and I really thought there was going to be a wreck up there and I wanted to kind of stay away from it. Alright, lap 48. I'm kind of getting, let's see, probably what was the last caution? 20 something? Did I pit? So I'm getting a little bit of wear on my tires. So is everybody else. And I don't know if it's because I kind of conserved my tires a little bit, or if it's how I'm driving, or maybe a little bit of both. Still had a pretty fair amount of speed compared to everybody else around me. Sixth place right now. We're going to fast forward. Just leapfrogged up and took fifth. Keep in mind, what did I start, like 30 something? 30 something? A little bit of pit strategy and conserving my tires while also being aggressive. I guess it's kind of an oxymoron, huh? Conserve tires and be aggressive. I really felt like everybody else was kind of racing a little too conservative. Ooh, let's see what happened there. I got really loose coming off the corner while I was underneath him. Let's look at it from the cockpit view. Got number 7 in the outside of us here too. So I'm kind of came down, got onto the gas. You see how the car just turns, gets loose? If you play your cards right, if you're up high, you can take advantage of that and shoot down the track and get some speed. For that, since I had to back out of it so I wouldn't spin out and maybe hit this guy. So you can see here I'm starting to drive a little bit higher up the line. You can stay in the gas a little longer and get some pretty good exit speed. Let's see what I do here going into 3 and 4. So backing off about 50% and then easing right back into it. Yeah, this guy slaps the wall and I immediately dive down because I'm afraid he's going to come right down in front of me. So yeah, I have to back off running 1 and 2, the older tires like this. And if I was down low, I really had to watch that exit. See how it was turning the car? One thing I noticed too is when using the draft, you lost a lot of aero grip. So you see me kind of get out of the draft into the corners, even though it wasn't my preferred line. I was a little bit, so you can see right here, I'm kind of losing grip. I'm right behind these guys. We ran into the same problem, and that was close. I remember that. Woo! Here comes the number 12 around me. He took advantage of it. You can see I'm feathering the throttle coming out. Yeah, when you're in the draft right behind somebody, you lost a lot of grip. So I was backing off a lot more in the corners when I was right behind somebody and trying to find a little bit of clean air to get the car to turn right. We're on some pretty old tires, probably 30-something lap old tires. I think this was one of the longer runs we went on too, without a caution. I'm feathering the throttle again. And I'm in 6th right now. So we're going to fast forward. We're going to go to lap 61. And so I'm behind the 12 in 5th place, and I was at this point I was kind of in tire conservation mode, just trying to save what I could to stretch the run out. I knew I had a little bit of a gap between the guys behind us, and the gap in front was it was kind of growing, so I figured if I just kind of conserved it and tried to run clean and not spin, I was going to be in better shape. Some of the other camera views here. showing me in 5th right now. 65 laps in, so we're at about the halfway point. Number 7 right there smoked his tires coming out of the turn. Lost a lot of speed. Let's rewind that. Let's look at that from my perspective in the cockpit. Keep in mind we're all on pretty old tires, and these things are really driving a little squirrely. Oh no, it was the other guy up there. Yeah, number 7 jumps on him and takes advantage of it. Yeah, I think he kind of loses it here too. Yep. If you're forced into a certain line with tires that are just worn out, it's hard to drive. Yeah, he's all over the place. He's really struggling. I want to think I get around him. I can't remember now. Arrow pushing him. It's like someone forgot to check their blinker fluid before they started the race. Alright, you see how I did that coming in the corner? I kind of was in the middle line, and then I kind of what they call drive off the right rear tire, where you get into the gas a little bit more aggressive, expecting the car to turn. See, I ease into it and then get on it real hard, and the car kind of spins a little bit and turns. You're really driving a fine line when you do that, though. I got a lot of speed off that corner doing that. Kind of wanted to do the same thing here. You see I'm sawing at the wheel a little bit. Oh, and he loses it. That's right. Same thing. That's when I took the spot. Did the same thing. Really fine line. So it shows me in 4th now, and I passed number 36. Alright, we're going to fast forward because I think we go a little while here. And if I'm not mistaken, I had to pit under green on this one. And I overdrove. No. One of the pit stops I overdrove my pit stall by just a hair. And I still came out pretty good. I think I came out like 7th or 8th. Yeah, we're at I think we're getting into the window of pitting under green. Yeah, so I'm trying to run that higher line. Keep my speed up and not burn my tires too much. I was kind of driving the car how the car wanted to be driven, though. There was sometimes you go into the corner and maybe you just didn't go in quite right, and you just have to drive it where the car wanted to be. Driving with the tires this old reminds me of driving the 1987 cars. Those are a lot of fun. Not a lot of grip when you're coming off corners. Not a lot of downforce. So we're at lap 83. So yeah, we're on some pretty old tires. We're 60-ish laps, something like that. And I ran it down to where I had like 1 or 2 laps of fuel left and finally pit. Getting into lap traffic, I believe. It is kind of wild once you get fresh tires and you're driving through people who have a little bit older tires. Just how much you can just run right through them. Makes it nice on tracks like this, a nice wide track with a couple lanes to actually pass somebody on. Kind of sucks when you're at like Rockingham or even Charlotte, where the track's kind of small, or track's not very wide. Yeah, here we go. This is a green flag stop. Yeah, I didn't overdrive this one. It was when I was under caution. I think I could have picked up a couple extra spots if that wouldn't have been the case. They did a pretty good job animating these. Oh, and I did a windshield tear off, which took me a little extra time. You can see all the rubber and stuff coming off. That's really neat how they put that in the game. It's the level of realism they've added in without killing people's computers is pretty cool. There we go. Now, my luck usually is a lap or 2 after I pit, we get a caution. And I've already gone a lap or so down. I don't think I went a lap down though. I may have, but I don't remember. Yeah, you can see some of the people that I'm passing are on older tires, and I'm able to just point the car where I want to go and I can just pass them. It's a huge difference. Representing the old Schrute Farms. Dwight Schrute, owner and operator. So we can get a there we go. Schrute Farms. You've got Prison Mike down there next to the Michigan Ford license plate. Advanced refrigeration. This guy's got damage. One thing that we noticed, I was talking to the guys in the Discord server. If you even rubbed the wall, just barely rubbed the wall, it would hit your speed considerably. It knocked the arrow out just a little bit, and you lost quite a bit of speed here. So I was real careful not to even so much as rub the wall. And I went the entire race and didn't have a single incident. Didn't hit anything. No, they call incident points. Showing me 11th right now, after all the green flag stops have kind of cycled through. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. We're on lap 97 now, and I believe there is one more caution right around lap 115, I think, somewhere around there. It's showing me now in 9th. Just kind of working my way back through the field. 8th. This guy that I'm chasing was pretty good too. Yeah, I'm already in, you know, trying to run middle line. To conserve tires and race where the car wanted me to go. So here's the problem. You try to get under somebody with old tires, it's hard to pass them here. Because the guys up top will get so much of a run on you coming out of the corners. I think I ended up just giving up and just stuck behind him. Looks like he's got maybe a little bit of damage too. Yeah, he does. I'm surprised. Maybe that's why I was able to get a little bit of a run on him. And I think I stayed back a little bit because these guys were kind of freaking me out. Cockpit view. If you're wondering why I have my field of view set the way that I do, I'm running 3 screens, 3 32-inch screens. So, yeah, I was able to capitalize on these guys. Let's rewind this. What's his name? Tyler Brewer said he was in there with him. Yeah, the number 35 over here says he tried to hold him back a little bit. He's a buddy that's in my league. And I was able to squeeze right past everybody. And I think the 17 right here was a lap down. Just was able to capitalize on that. And that put me back up to 7th. So the number 35, he wasn't a teammate per se, but we're, I'd say, on pretty good standing in our league. Nice guy. Tyler Brewer, I believe, is his name. Good driver. So it shows me in 5th now, and we should be getting close to that next caution. Now, if this caution would have been like a green-white checkered, I probably would have just stayed out and just tried to defend it. But being that it was almost 20 laps to go, definitely wanted to get new tires. It's showing me in 5th. I believe the caution's, yeah, the caution's out. I'm just catching up to everybody else. Okay, and this is where I overshoot my pit, and I thought I just royally screwed myself. Let's see if we can show it on. Again, I lost where my pit was. I couldn't see it. And then I found it last second and overshot it. And still overshot it. So don't do that. I think I was in 2nd gear. I think that was my problem. I didn't realize I was in 2nd. I was expecting the motor to slow down a little bit more. I didn't take any fuel. I had enough fuel to get me to the end. And then I was able to keep on going. Alright, so it's showing me coming out in 10th. I don't remember if I actually came out in 10th. I think I ended up coming out in 8th by the time it all sorted out. I think some more guys in front of me pit. We're going to fast forward here and see. Yeah, it puts me in 8th. That's strange. I think there was 2 or 3 in a row that I ended up starting 8th. It's kind of nice because you're starting the outside and feel like you can defend your spot a little better. Alright. So here we go. Switch camera views. I got the number 1 right behind me. Whew. I really do like that paint job. The number 30. That's cool. Okay. So we've got decent restart. Cockpit view. Really gotta be careful coming out of these corners. I have a guy right beside me here. So something happens up here, and I'm able to squeeze right past all these guys. I don't remember what lap it's on, but I'm pretty sure it's coming up. I think it was on the backstretch coming out of turn 2. That tide car looks neat. Yeah, that guy pinched me a little bit. This way, yeah, right up here. And I got so lucky. And the number 7 here, I had a hard time passing this guy. You can't see on the, because I have the triple screens right now. He's right next to me, and he's forcing me down to the low side where I have a hard time getting any speed built up. And he does it for several laps. I think we're next to each other. Let's change views here. Yeah, he kind of keeps me down. Let's just watch this. This was an interesting battle. What places it showed me? It showed me in 4th. I thought because he had a little bit of damage that I would have a little bit of an easier time getting around him, but he did pretty good. It must not have affected his speed as much as it probably should have. The dogs are going crazy upstairs. If I could get a little bit of a run on him, I just couldn't pass him. I really had a hard time passing him. The only place he would give me to go would be down low, and then he would kind of pinch me down there like this. I mean, we were side by side for several laps at this point. The car in front of us lost it. Must have gotten loose. And the leader's just walking away from us all. So we've got about 10 laps to go. And it's showing me in 4th place. Behind the T-Rex car, DuPont T-Rex number 27. There's an interesting story behind the T-Rex car. You go back and listen to like the Dale Earnhardt Jr. podcast. They built that car kind of as a project at Hendrick Motorsports, and took input from all the different teams and crew chiefs, chassis guys. I'm still pitching down low. Anyways, so they built this car from the ground up, and it had a floor. The floor pan on it was lifted up just a little bit, and they passed it around to a couple different drivers, and nobody really liked it. And Ray Evernham with Jeff Gordon practicing one day, they decided to put kind of a crazy setup in it. And I want to say what they did is they had the nose down and the back up, and it created a little bit of like negative pressure into the car. Wow, this is a tight race. 3 wide. So anyways, what that did is that created a little bit of negative pressure, and then that car just would suck to the racetrack, created a little bit of extra downforce. And he only raced it in one race, and that was I believe the All-Star race. I'm sure I don't remember what it was called now. Anyways, long story short, he just dominated that race. Jeff Gordon dominated that race in that car, and Bill France came to him at the end of the race and says they wanted to outlaw the car. And he said, "Well, there's nothing on the car that's illegal." And he says, "Well, it will be tomorrow. They'll bring the car back." So, the car only got one race under it, and it dominated it. I guess their argument was all the other teams are going to have to spend all kinds of money on R&D to, figure out how to build something like it. And, man, I don't know. It really wasn't anything that was that exotic. Nothing that was illegal. It just sounds like all he really did was lift the floor pan up off the racetrack a little bit more and set the car up in such a way that it created a little bit of negative pressure underneath it. Give him probably who knows, maybe a couple 100 pounds extra downforce to stick to the track. I mean, yeah, they'd have to rebuild a bunch of cars to do something like it, but I mean, there's teams all the time that are coming up with kind of off-the-wall stuff to kind of bend the rules or create new rules. So here we go. I made the pass. I'm in second place now, and I'm walking away from the other guys that are battling up there. We've got a lapped car up here, and the guy in front of him is the leader. So we are like 4 laps to go. Let's go in cockpit mode here. There's really not a whole lot to see here in the cockpit. I'm just kind of just taking it easy, trying to conserve, trying not to make any mistakes. Keep the guys behind me. There's no way I was going to catch a leader unless he did something stupid or blew his motor. He just was walking away from everybody. Second place. Starting 33rd. Worked a little pit strategy. Was a little bit aggressive, but not dangerously aggressive. And didn't make any major mistakes. Coming around for the white flag. Yeah, one more to go. The only thing I'm thinking at this point is just easy off the corners, don't spin out. See here, I'm just easing it off the corner. Going to the checkered flag. There it is. There's for the race. Finished second. And let's see, I don't know if I still have it up or not. I'll have to go back to results. Yeah, there we go. Gained 0.39 in safety rating because of all the close quarters racing, the 134 laps. They kind of calculate it weird. I think it's somewhat to do with close proximity, how many drivers are on the track, how many laps you run, turns. It's kind of a weird algorithm that they do. and a gain of 94 iRating, which is great. That was a good time. So if you like this video, like and subscribe. Share it if you'd like. You have any comments, maybe some things I can improve on, or maybe something with the video quality that I can improve on. And give a shout out to my son, Magma Productions. I think it's Magma Productions YT on YouTube. He's the one that's kind of helped me out with the Photoshop and the Discord, as well as the Streamlabs. Get me set up with all this stuff. So have a good rest of the day. Enjoy racing. Stay safe.